like, why Boston, and what does this opportunity mean to you?
Obviously, beyond the history that this franchise has, I think Boston. I was saying to somebody the other day, I think Boston's kind of always. It's always been one of those places as an NBA player. I feel like guys are like, be pretty cool experience playing there. But beyond that, just the core they have. The having Brad in the front office now, the coaches that they have. I actually played against Joe when I was in college, and then this young core, and then the foundation they laid last year. I think sets the table. So this was just kind of an opportunity you couldn't pass up.
What were the takeaways facing them in the playoffs in that first round?
They're extremely disciplined. I thought we played the Celtics first round 2 years ago. I know they were banged up, but they took a big step as far as maturation and just how seriously they took the game. Not that they didn't before, but to be a really good team, which they are and they were last year, you have to take some big steps, and they took those steps where it didn't really seem like they cared how they got it done. They just got it done, and they were willing to outplay you, out-hustle you. And when a team with this much talent has that mentality, that's what makes them tough.
When did the Celtics just first reach out to you? Was this something that's kind of potential option all summer, or did it kind of come about more recently here?
I think it came about more recently. With obvious injuries they've had here and there. But I talked to Brad 2 years ago when I was leaving Detroit, and had a great conversation. I always have a lot of respect for him, so it sparked back up.
What are your expectations as far as your role at this point in your career? What do you think you can bring to this team?
Just some stability. Off the bench, they obviously have centers and Rob and Al that have played big minutes, and Al obviously been in the league for 40 years now. So just like some stability, whatever they need. If Al needs a break, Rob needs a break. Sort of just utility. I didn't come here demanding a certain type of role. It's just to fill the gaps and to help this team win a championship.
Al's talked about how you kind of need to evolve in this league, and you're a guy who's done that. At this point in your career, like, what do you think you've kind of done to evolve to the modern game?
The four-man has gone from just like basically extension of a center to really a floor spacer. After my rookie year, I hired a shooting coach and went to work. And it wasn't pretty at first, but I'm glad I put that work in, so long ago, because I've been able to expand my game a little bit more to just setting picks and rolling and doing all that. So that's exactly what it is, just evolving at every chance you get.
Marcus was saying there's going to be a bit of competition with the drawing charges between you, him, and Derek.
Yeah.
How excited are you to play with a couple of the guys like that pride themselves on hustle?
I mean, there's a number of guys on this roster who just do it with hustle. Marcus is obviously, and he got rewarded for it last year, but he probably should have gotten rewarded for it in previous years. Defensive player of the year, but I love guys like that. I mean, I'm willing to do that as well. So, hopefully we can lead the league in charges this year.
Like, what have you done to adjust your game to be able to stay around so long? Because obviously guys from your draft class many have retired or out of the league, but you're still here. What have you done to stay?
Well, I mean, part of that is sort of expanding your game a little bit. Like I said, after my rookie year, I've made it a priority to work on my shot. So that's one thing. But just using your brain, I think, and playing a little bit more cerebrally. I don't even know if that's a word. So that's really it. I mean, and also I think in this league you sort of have to you have to have a good amount of self-awareness. When your talent level and your level of humility and self-awareness align, then I think you can sort of maximize your time in the league. And then sometimes you see that doesn't happen, and guys' careers are cut short because of it. So, just like in Brooklyn, I didn't come in demanding this or that. I think you have to earn it. Even a guy who's played for 13 years, however many years it's been. This is 14 for me, so. Nothing is given. I mean, you have to come in and still do your work, be a good teammate, be a leader, and do what they ask, and just play your role.
I mean, is it frustrating when people still expect jump over the Kia Blake as opposed to the Blake you are now?
Frustrating, no. I think it's funny, sort of. You know, when I was younger, everybody complained about how all I did was dunk, and now people are like, I wish he would just do what he used to do. I was like, all right, you guys complained for years how I couldn't shoot, and now I shoot. So it's, you know, it's just it's a lesson of like growth. You know, you're never gonna please anybody, but as long as you keep moving forward, it'll be all right.
What was the free agency process like for you?
Sorry, what?
What was the free agency process like for you?
Honestly, I didn't put much into it. I intentionally just kind of set back. Enjoyed time with my kids, and it wasn't really a main priority. My plan was to kind of wait until after training camp and see. But like I said, when an opportunity like this comes along, you take it.
And how are you feeling just physically right now? You know, obviously, you're a week into camp here. Is there a plan with the staff here yet, just in terms of getting yourself in? You want to play a preseason game or two? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely do. I don't know what their plan is. I just finished like all my assessments this morning, so I'm sure we'll sit with the training staff and sort of figure that out. But yeah, I would definitely like to play some preseason games. But I'll you know, that's their job, so I'll lean on them for exactly how we go about doing that.
But you feel good and healthy?
Yeah, I feel good. Yeah, if I had to, I feel like I could play Wednesday for sure. But I'll take their.
Who have you gotten a chance to talk to on the team so far, and what have those conversations been like?
I talked to pretty much everybody. I got in yesterday. I saw some guys yesterday. Obviously, was here all practice today. So I'm actually very not surprised, but the amount of maturity and like welcomingness. Again, I don't know if that's a word, but they're very. It's like it's a different atmosphere that I was sort of used to, in a good way, where they just are like. They were very welcoming, and you know, everybody 1 through 15 or however many guys are here in practice today was focused, very encouraging, helpful, and you know, I think you kind of take that for granted because it's not always the case everywhere you go.
How much did you weigh opportunity for a significant role in your decision?
Opportunity versus what?
For a significant role.
Oh, for a significant role. I mean, I think that's part of just understanding who you are and where you are in your career. I mean, I think there's an opportunity here, and the biggest thing for me, like, is playing meaningful basketball and playing basketball in the playoffs, and also being a part of a good group. And I think that this place checks off those lists.
With Rob out, are you ready for a heavier role right out of the gates?
I'll be ready for whatever role they need me for. But yeah, obviously right now, with him, when he comes back, I mean, he's just, you know, the kid's a monster, and he's the anchor of their team, defensively especially. So whatever role I'm needed for now, whatever role I'm needed for later, I'll be ready.
And then what's your initial impression of Joe as a head coach?
Very, very ready. Like, I'd never really had a chance to spend a lot of time around him, but I mean, just the way his approach to the game and the way he speaks to the guys, you can tell he's been a coach and been a assistant or whatever here and there for a while. Just because you talk to certain guys and you're like, that's a coach, and that's kind of what he is.
What do you remember about him in college?
All I remember is we played him when he was at West Virginia, and we beat them in double overtime, and he had maybe 5 points.
Have you told him that? Have you remembered?
Oh yeah, first thing I told him, double overtime win.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Nice
guys.
to meet you.
Presented by your New England Ford dealers. Built for America. Built Ford proud.